Over the weekend, I received a message from my friend on Discord. He was working on a new game and wanted to see if I could test it out for him. He sent it to me, I got it started, but it wasn't running quite right. The game launched, but it was just the Unity splash screen followed by nothing. So I closed it and messaged my friend back explaining what happened. But then I got a new message from an unknown user, and it said, "You just ran malware on your computer. Your server belongs to me now." And it was immediately clear. I was never talking to my friend at all. His account had been hacked, and I was talking to the hacker this whole time. The game he sent had a virus that was able to transfer ownership of my Discord server with over 4,000 members directly over to him. My two-factor authentication was not enough to protect me from something like this. And once he had access, he locked me and the mods out from doing anything, and he had full control. I shut down my infected computer and moved over to my laptop to reset my Discord password. And I noticed that in my DMs, the hacker was threatening to delete the server. He said something really embarrassing like, "I expect your full cooperation." But I didn't respond to him. I don't think he would have given the server back if I tried, and I didn't want to give him any kind of reaction. With server ownership though, he was able to create a dummy Discord account that looked exactly like me, and he used it to ping everyone in the server, trying to get more people to download his malware. This is the part that bothers me the most, since this whole situation was a result of my mistake, and it may have led to more people falling for the exact same trick. We tried reporting him, we tried contacting Discord directly, but no luck. This situation was really bad, but it could have been worse. Like my friend, for example, his entire account got hacked and stolen, and then they used his friends list to trick people that trusted him. I'm lucky that Discord locked my account after it auto-detected strange activity, even if it was too slow to catch the ownership transfer. If the hacker got my account, he could have impersonated me a lot more convincingly to my friends and the rest of the server. At this point, the hacker was trying to get people to chat with him in the text channels, but nobody really was. And I was still ignoring all the messages that he was sending me directly, so I imagine he was getting kind of bored. After about an hour of owning the server, he deleted it. Based on everything that I've read online, this is currently a permanent and irreversible process, so it seems like my server and all the progress I've made is just gone instantly. There's one huge factor that makes this particular phishing scam work so well. If you're familiar with indie games like smaller projects from itch.io, game jams, or even games made by your friends, you might have seen this pop up before. When you try to run an executable that Windows doesn't recognize, it'll block the app from launching and warn you that it could put your computer at risk. To prevent this warning, developers can digitally sign the application with a certificate. This costs money though, and it isn't something that's feasible for a lot of indies. But the option to run anyway is available, where users can choose to accept that risk and still play the game. So if you're developing a game and you're not able to sign your app, it is an easy option to just ask your audience to click that Run Anyway button. This is pretty common in the game development community. The GMTK Game Jam, for example. This is the biggest jam on itch.io every single year where users submit their own games. And if we take a look at last year's winners, most of these games are able to be played directly in the browser, which is a fantastic way to share your games, if you're able to. But 3 of these games do require you to actually download and run them. And all 3 of these pop up that Windows warning, meaning that the only way to play these winning games is to run anyway. This is not a criticism of the developers. My 2022 submission is the same setup as these 3, same problem. But I'm realizing now that expecting players to ignore the warning is just priming them to eventually run malware like I did. The fact that hackers are building itch.io pages for their fake games should be proof of this. That's how the hacker sent their game to me. I was always aware of the risks involved with running anyway, and that's why I only ran projects from people that I trusted. But obviously, that plan does not work. This whole experience was the first time I've ever personally been hacked, and it's been one of the biggest wake-up calls I've had in a very long time. It's likely that the virus tried to steal more data from my computer, like cached passwords from my browser. So I went through every account I could think of and changed the password to something new. I even reinstalled Windows just in case the virus was lingering around undetected. I just didn't want to take any risks. Update on this, even after reinstalling Windows, it's been a few days and I did receive a security alert from my Google account. I think it's possible that it's a false alarm where it sees my fresh Windows installation as an unknown device, but emails like these are definitely scary, so let me know if you have any insight. There's a few main takeaways I have here. First is that I will never be running any games that are not trusted by Windows, unless they're in some kind of controlled environment like a virtual machine or a sandbox that's capable of handling dangerous programs. I've been reminded that keeping your own account secure is extremely important because it protects your friends. So make sure you have two-factor authentication on Discord or any other important account, since it's a really solid way of keeping everything secure. I've also learned that I feel lonely without my online community, so I'll definitely be making a new Discord server soon, but I just want a little bit more time to learn about other ways I can help improve security. I'd really love to get a conversation started about safe practices for game developers and what methods they're using to distribute their projects. Games on Steam are considered by Windows to be trustworthy, but there's still a long period of development for lots of projects before reaching that point, not to mention the smaller games from smaller developers. I'll be honest, I'm pretty embarrassed by what happened, and part of me was tempted to just move on, make a new server, and start fresh, pretending like none of this ever happened. But if I could fall for something like this, I know that there's other people out there that might do the same thing. So I hope that this story helps remind people to be extra careful with who you talk with and what you open online. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and stay safe out there.